Hello students and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we are going to see a very interesting yet not so encouraging but an interesting study that was done, which have maybe we knew already, but sort of opens the eyes and makes us think what needs to be done with respect to education, specifically the mathematics education. So what it is all about: students of India, school students of India, they failed basically to apply the abstract math in real life scenarios. So many times, you might have wondered or thought of or heard or seen memes, certain memes specifically with things like integration or differentiation, etc., and thinking that where in life would I use this? So very jokingly we said all this. Now this has become serious, not for integration and differentiation, which is higher level of mathematics, but for a lower level of mathematics and arithmetic itself. So what is the news all about? The news is all about a study that was conducted which found out that the imaginative or the abstract math that we learn, the students, the children are finding it very difficult to apply that abstract math in real life scenario. So what's the use then? Then the only use that remains is to pass the class and go on to the next class, finish your 10th, 12th, graduation, get a job and start working like a machine or in a mechanical manner. But when it comes to real life scenarios, there is no practical implementation. If you look at it, the creativity, the going beyond the usual to develop something unusual will not be there if the imagination power is not much. So this is what the study is all about. What question statement did the study have? It was investigating whether the mathematics skills that are acquired by the children in real life, real world setting transfer to the classroom and vice versa. Means what? Means that, see, you are learning certain mathematics, learning mathematics in number one or A, real life, plus learning mathematics in the classroom. So does your learning of mathematics in classroom help you in real life, make you better in real life mathematics or not? And does your real life mathematics help you in classroom or not? Simply meaning that whatever you have learned in classroom, can you utilize in the real world? Whatever you are learning in the real world, does it help you in the classroom or not? Or is it completely two different things? Many times you might have seen some people doing exceptionally well in the classroom, mathematics or any subject, but in real life the understanding is not there, the presentation is not there, the explanation is not there, they are dumbfounded. At the same time, the reverse is also possible. So that is what the study was going to do. Now this study was entirely divided into 3 subcategories, and it did studies over a couple of, almost couple of thousand students. So when you talk about real world, for real world scenario, it shows students who were working as or in the shops of vegetable vendors, and some sort of students who were studying right in the classrooms, of course. Now this study was done for students or children under the age of 17, but concentrated between 13 to 15, means majority of them were between 13 to 15 years of age. So these are some base facts about the study. Now, what did they do in the study? What they did in the study is they asked certain questions. So, for example, to the children that were working on the vegetable shop, so they would be doing usual calculation per kg vegetable, how much it costs. So, if you're taking 2 kg, how much it costs. So, these things would be already mugged up by them. So, 1 kg, 2 kg, 5 kgs, half kg, 0.25 kg, etc., etc. So what they did is they asked question of the quantities which are unusual. So when you go to a shop, you don't buy 800 grams of tomatoes or potatoes. You buy either 1 kg or half kg or three quarters of a kg or 1/4 of a kg, etc. So they started by asking questions of arithmetic related to unusual quantities of 2 different goods. Like, for example, 800 grams of potatoes at 20 rupees per kg. How much will it cost? 16 rupees. 0.8 into 20. Anyhow, that is maybe simpler because we are at a higher level. These are the children below 17 years of age, majorly between 13 to 14. So that is one example. The other example is 1.4 kg of onions at 15 rupees per kg. So these type of unusual quantities were taken to ask question, and they were not given any proper aid of pencil, pen, paper, anything. They had to do it mentally. Okay? So what they found out is these children who worked at shops did exceptionally well. However, the same students struggled with school mathematics. So they are in practical world, they are doing well, but in classroom they are not doing well. In fact, they found that the success rate was 95, 97 and 98% of these children answered correctly. Okay. Now further, in contrast, what happened is they also gave them certain problems. Let's say there are different reports, annual survey, annual status of education report. So other reports try to give you questions differently. So in this report, basically the questions that are given are more academic in nature. So in this academic nature, what happened is when they were given problems that are used for these kind of reports, only 32% could solve the division of a 3-digit number by 1-digit number. So 3-digit number by 1-digit number means division of, let's say, 343 divided by 7. So division of 3-digit number by 1-digit number, when they were given that kind of a sum, only 32% children were able to solve it. I hope that's clear. Plus only for 54% could solve the two subtractions of one 2-digit number from another. Two subtractions of one 2-digit number from another. So what we are seeing is the academic kind of questions, they are not doing well. The practical life questions, they are doing well. I hope that's clear. Okay. Now, one thing the study wants to make it clear is that the difference in question was not of difficulty level. Okay, so basically the level of difficulty they maintained same. So the difference was not there, right? So then what was the issue here, or why they were doing well there and not here? So difference is not the issue between the two types, because the market transactions were also quite complex. It was also multiplication, division, etc., and involved several steps compared to this. So difficulty level was not the difference. Okay. Now what do we see here? We see here that the real life learning, we were thinking, can we apply in classroom? So the answer with respect to this survey would be what? The answer would be no, a big no. Okay? I hope this is absolutely clear. Now, so we were wanting to test whether real life world knowledge learning can be applied in classroom or not, and classroom in real life or not. So real life could not be applied in classroom, that is established to some extent. Now let's see the vice versa. So what was again done is 56% of non-working children who were not working and just going to study to schools. So 56% of non-working children could clear the division exercise presented in the school, compared to just 15% of working children. So here what is happening? If a similar problem is given to two sets of children, one is working, one is non-working, the non-working classroom going children can solve the classroom problem easily. The working children who have gone to classroom previously, who do go to classroom now but are also working, are not able to solve the problem. So what is happening is, the classroom people are able to do the classroom work. The real life people who are working in real life, the students, the children, are able to do the real life problem. The learning is basically not getting transferred, is what we can understand. So what is the finding? Finding is child vendors can mentally calculate complex market scenarios, calculations, etc., and not so good in maths taught in the school. Now their school going counterparts, the peers who are going to school, they excel in academics, but in real life they are not doing well. That means the transfer is not happening. The transfer of learning is not happening. ठीक है. So is there any similarity of this study elsewhere? Yes, the researchers themselves identify that in France also such thing had happened, that academicians were not doing well in real life and real life people not doing well in the academics. However, if you talk about the interpretation of the study, so what can be the interpretation? That there is a missing link which can transfer the academic learning to the real life learning. Chalo, when it comes to real life learning getting transferred to academic, maybe you don't have a mentor to do that, but at least from the classroom to the real life, the teachers, the tuitions you go to, the things that you study, the books that are there, the syllabus, everything should be able to transfer this classroom knowledge to the real life world. I hope that is absolutely clear. Now, this is basically the interpretation. Now, what can be the solution over here? The solution is to rethink the curriculum by linking the two sides of the world, the classroom side as well as the let's say the real world side. Now, how can you do that? Maybe the problems that you give are more practical in nature, right? Maybe that is possible. You know, sometimes we study some problems in the book and we think that how is that person eating 10 mangoes, how that person has 10 mangoes in one hand and 10 mangoes in the other, so how many so what does the person have? So a student answers, the person has very big hands. No, that is the imagination, because imagine 10 mangoes in one hand, how is it possible? What I'm trying to say is, can we make the example more close to reality? Can we make the problems more close to reality? Can we make the problems that are utilized in everyday life, for finances, for lifestyle, for this, for that, including for addition, subtraction, the calories, the protein, the carbohydrates, which will holistically develop the students and which will help them excel in real life and translate this knowledge of academics into real life as well. This topic is extremely important for two things. One is your mains GS papers, at the same time very important for your essay paper with respect to the education, the policy, the modifications, the changes or revamping of the education system in India. Thank you.